everybody, and welcome to Turnabout podcast. I'm your host, Lucy.
And I'm Scooby-Doo's cousin, Scooby-Dum.
Oh my god, amazing. Thank you for being with us, Gudam. Aris couldn't be there this week because he has explosive diarrhea.
I I heard that. I feel so bad for
Mm,
him.
yeah, we send thoughts and prayers over to him
Of
and wish him
course.
good luck. Yeah, so welcome for this episode of this 18th episode.
Um,
Episode number 18.
Here's something I wrote on the top of my notes. Our 20th episode is gonna be Spirit of Justice.
I mean, that's a roundup of the main trilogy, so that's kind of nice, but it's also Spirit of Justice, so it's kind of
What better
disappointing.
way to celebrate 20 episodes by
Ripping to shred a game.
yes.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this episode is about Apollo Justice, the fourth game of the series, and a game, if it had a color, it would be brown.
Um Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert ahead.
And
Thank you for
also
reminding.
You're welcome. And also, if you're new to our channel or just jumping into this episode, we're currently doing a series where we take one game per episode and interview each other in an attempt to dissect it. It might not be the
Yes.
best way, but we're having
That's
lots of fun
what
doing
we
it.
settled on. Yes. We're not doing this for views. I think it's became very clear over the years. The years of doing that.
Over the years.
Yes. But before we jump into the episode, we have to give our weekly shout out. We do this every week. An account that we like centered around Ace Attorney. Isn't fan art.
It
This is the
isn't fan
second
art.
time we've presented something that isn't fan art. We
I
did
think
fan fiction
so.
the first time.
Yeah.
This time, it's an amazing account on Twitter called Ace Attorney Facts. The handle is AA Facts. And it's so interesting. You can log on and find out amazing stuff.
Ask and you shall receive. We mentioned last week. We mentioned this account last week because we talked about the fact that Dick Gumshoe was supposed to be the detective in Spirit of Justice, and
Very true.
what was the other one?
Um,
There was another good one.
wasn't it that there was supposed to be like a female attorney that was like tempt Apollo? We discussed this one, but I don't know if we talked about it in the podcast.
I don't remember. But yeah, we talked about this account last week and we actually reached out and they were super nice.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, so we gathered a few facts for each other. We made sure we don't have the same, but without spoiling what we've gathered for each other.
Yes.
So let's go over some interesting facts about Ace Attorney in order to showcase this account.
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
Sure, absolutely. The first fact I picked up was. Do you want me to read them? I'll just read them.
Yeah, just read them out loud.
Interestingly, not one of the three witnesses in Investigation 2 who are shown to enjoy playing chess, which are Urs Knightley, Simon Keyes, and Saren Dogan, are even interrogated using the game's logic chess mechanics. And I thought that was so interesting. So, like, the three people who said they're interested in chess aren't investigated with logic chess. And I thought that was, like, a really good writing moment because I think, like, maybe if they were that good at chess, they could, like, counters Edward's, like, kind of technique. But I never realized that.
Like, very vividly in my head, I have Edward doing logic chess against Horace Knightley in the first
I
case.
have the same thing, but I don't know why they're mentioning it. But we for sure didn't have Simon Keyes nor Saren Dogan. So
that's actually very interesting.
Yeah, that was the first, and I was like, I never thought about it. So thank you, AA Facts.
So the first one I chose is so they replied to another tweet they retweeted first. They tweeted first, and they said, soon after the release of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, many players theorized that Apollo Justice was the son of Damon Gunt. Despite the latest main series entry revealing Apollo's biological father and foster father, it didn't reveal who took care of him in the US leading up to the events of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Due to this, Damon Gunt could be theoretically still be one of Apollo's fathers.
Oh my
That's
god.
insane.
That is so interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I never thought about it.
Same. I've never seen a theory like that as well.
Same. I think if we're gonna bring up Apollo's past, I would have much rather have him being the adoptive son of Damon Gunn than bring up the whole terrain thing.
Same.
That is so interesting.
Do you remember when I was playing Apollo Justice for the first time?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like maybe searching for something on Google about it, and some fan art came on. It was Phoenix telling Edgeworth something about Apollo, and he was like, your son Apollo. And I messaged you on WhatsApp. I was like, I hope I didn't spoil it for myself. Is Apollo Edgeworth's son? And you were like, no,
Nah.
he's not.
No. I mean, could have been potentially interesting, but nah.
Whatever.
Just isn't.
What's the next fact?
My next fact is... This one made me laugh a lot. At one point during localization of the game, that will later be Phoenix Wright, the first one, the protagonist's English name was planned to be Rogers Wright. The reasoning behind this name choice was heroes like to have alterations. Roger Wright.
I've actually heard of this before. I'm not sure
Really?
if it's from this account, but they changed it, I think, because it was too similar to Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah.
I think Roger Wright is a terrible name.
It is.
I wouldn't have played Roger Wright.
Yeah. Roger Wright, Ace Attorney.
Roger Wright. I think it's also a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Roger Wright. I don't like the alliteration here. I think Phoenix Wright is much better.
Yeah, and
I'm happy they changed it.
For me, his hair always reminded me of a phoenix. Like
and
the wing.
Phoenix, it's kind of spiky, even like the sounds, so it makes sense for this. Yeah. And like Phoenix, there's like the rise of the Phoenix. I don't know, I like it better. But I was like, what the fuck? Who would have thought it could have been named Roger Wright?
True. Fair. Okay. So my second fact, the second fact I chose to share is, according to the Investigations 2 manual, Franziska von Karma has an older sister who is also the mother of Manfred von Karma's granddaughter, mentioned in Turnabout Goodbyes.
This is amazing content, genuinely.
When I read it, I had to take a minute because imagine Franziska having a sister.
I know.
And it being canon. It's canon, it's not fan fiction or anything.
It would be so cool.
I mean,
it would legit be so cool.
What is she like?
Yeah. I kind of, like, what if she's just the most normal person on the planet and she's just surrounded by psychopaths?
Yeah. What relationship did she have with Edgeworth?
I know.
Or her dad?
Who's the father? How's the daughter? Are we gonna, like... The daughter could potentially be a new prosecutor in an upcoming game, you know? She's grown.
As a mother, that would be fantastic.
Ton.
And Franziska being an aunt?
We love that. I think Franziska is like a very dotting aunt. Franziska is that cool aunt that is super rich and successful and brings you gifts.
Yes. And is sleeping with Adrian Andrews.
Yes, of course.
Amazing content.
That is just a given.
Yes. What is your next fact?
So, my next fact is about names. There are parallels between Phoenix Wright and Furotiki's Japanese name. So they each contain the character for dragon for phoenix and tiger for Furotigre, respectively, which are eternal rivals in Japanese folklore. And um, their last name, Phoenix last name is a play on word on the sentence I understand in Japanese, and Furotigre is a play on word on the sentence I'll kick your ass.
Oh my god. And that explains Furio Tigre's shirt.
Yes,
The dragon biting the tiger.
exactly. Isn't that so well thought out?
Wait, is it? I think it's the other way around. I think it's the tiger biting the dragon.
Let me look.
I drew this the other day.
It's a tiger biting a
Yeah,
dragon. We love this.
it makes sense now.
It
And
does.
it makes sense that it's his doppelganger.
Yeah. I thought that was like such a really nice detail.
It is. So my next fact I chose is to create a sound effect used in Apollo Justice Ace Attorney during a cutscene where Clavier Gavin falls over while holding a guitar. I think they're referring to the La Miroir performance video.
Mm.
Shu Takumi made Yoshiko Sando, sorry if I butchered that, the game's sound designer, destroy his own guitar by suggesting things such as throwing it and setting it on fire.
I love this. I
Shu
really do.
Takumi sounds awesome. He
I love
wrote a
him.
full game drunk.
A man of
That's what
passion.
we talked about last week.
That's what we talked about last week.
Yes, that Shu Takumi wrote Justice for All.
Completely hammered.
Yeah,
I love this.
I want
I
to
want to
hang out
be
with Shu
him.
Takumi.
I want to be him.
Yeah.
He's my hero.
What's your next fact?
My next one is a very similar one to the last one. I
Okay.
had originally grouped them together. But since we had the same one about Francisca. Its Furotiku Japanese name is, I'm gonna butcher this, I'm so sorry. Shibukuzo Toronosuke. So the
Yeah.
first part of the name means I'll kick your ass. And then the second part translates to Tiger Boy. So his name in Japanese is literally Boy will kick your ass. Isn't that amazing?
That made me fall in love with him even more.
Like, do you imagine if his English name was like Tiger Boss Ass Kicker? I would fear that guy for sure. I'd be terrified.
I think he's like one of my favorite non-major case villains.
I know. And I was thinking about this because he's such a fun character. Like, he
I
really
know.
is. He's such an entertaining villain. And I think that's a great example of not having to make it super serious.
Hmm.
Like, you can have an amazing villain and still have fun with it. And I think that's
Yeah.
exactly what they did with him. I love him. We
Um
we adore him.
we do. We really do. So the penultimate fact I chose was one of the original concepts for Pearl Faye's character design was a girl with a disdainful attitude who would be of the same age as Maya Fey. She was originally designed to be a rival to Maya and planned to only appear in Reunion and Turnabout.
Amazing.
Why didn't they stick with that?
I think they kind of used. I do think they get inspired from that for Dahlia Hawthorne
Yeah,
for the
that's what I was gonna
attitude.
say.
Um, and I think in a way, Maya's already lost so much of her family. It is good that she still has one person, you know?
True, true.
What do you think they changed it?
I think it's to like really drive home the like I think you mentioned this during our interview with Snap when you said that they used her as a way to kind of like, on the one side, make fun of the theories, but also debunk them, of the
Mm,
people shipping Phoenix and
yeah,
Maya. And they wanted her to stick around for more in order to like really make it a point.
yeah.
But I was thinking the exact same thing. It sounds exactly like Dahlia, basically a rival cousin who's disdainful.
Mm.
Um, which begs the question, if they if they planned for that to be the original concept for Pearl, didn't they know when they were preparing Justice for All what would go down in Trials and Tribulations?
I don't think they did.
So they didn't like set up Morgan Fay on purpose.
Nah, I don't think so. Because I read another thing and I almost like chose it for my fact. That was the original idea for Dahlia Hawthorne Elegance was that she needed to be like they knew that Winston's pain breakdown was going to be so iconic because he loses
I
all of his hair,
I read that as well.
and that's where they got the idea for her character,
Yeah.
like for her arc. So I think they like decided on what was going to go down during like pre-production of Trials of Tribulation, but not before, which is amazing because it ties down everything together. So I'm so surprised that it wasn't like thought out long before.
Yeah, everything you just said.
Okay, brilliant. I love when people agree with me.
Um, this podcast works in harmony when we agree,
Yeah,
which is what happens most of the time,
yeah,
except for when we disagree on colors.
yeah. Amazing.
Yes. And who is fuckable.
Yeah,
Happy we're on the same page.
perfect. So
So,
those were our facts.
no, I have one more.
Oh yeah, I started. Go ahead.
Didn't you have six?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't. I had six before Francisca.
Oh,
Like, you know.
okay. So the last one I chose is a common misconception about the Ace Attorney series is that its legal system is intended to be a parody of the Japanese legal system. This,
Mm.
however, is not true. Shu Takumi has openly stated that he knew almost nothing about Japan's legal system while writing the first game.
Once again, I love this
Um,
information, and it makes
the
me like him even more.
the tweet is referring to idiots such as myself who have been running around saying this rumor because I thought it
I've
was
been saying the
true.
same thing. I was like, it's a commentary on Japanese. Every time someone's like, it's so unrealistic, I was like, yes, it's a commentary about that. And I'm finding out now that I'm an absolute idiot.
Um, my Japanese teacher, my tutor, is actually from Japan, and I told him about Ace Attorney. He never heard of it before, and I was explaining it to him this way. I told him, "Oh, it's because in the Japanese legal system, they used to have like 3 days because of so many trials, so they minimized the trials from like taking ages to only being 3 days long." And my tutor were like, "Are you sure this is true? I've never heard of this before." And I was like, "Yeah, you're Japanese. What do you mean? You've never heard of this before?" And I know it.
Oh my god.
So I think I owe the man an apology.
I think you do. I think you really do. Oh my god, Aris. I'm amazed.
Yeah. So that was Ace Attorney Facts.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
It
Her
was so much
content
fun.
is their content is excellent. It's very refreshing. It's facts that we don't hear a lot. It's super well researched. You can also her DMs are open if you have like any facts that hasn't been featured on this account. You can pop in and make suggestions, which I think is great.
It is great. So please go follow and support and like
Yes.
We'll link the Twitter account below.
Everything is in the description, like always.
Perfect. So,
What now?
now
Let's talk about the color brown.
let's talk about Apollo Justice.
Yeah,
Should I go first?
absolutely.
My first question is what?
Is that your actual first question?
Yes, I'll put it up on screen. It's number
What?
one. What?
Well, I'll answer with why. I don't know. I didn't create this game. What do you mean by what?
I don't know. I'm just wondering what is
I
Apollo
kind of
Justice?
understand the sentiment of like you're done playing it and you're like, what was that all about?
Yeah.
Food for thoughts.
So what's your first question?
Do you want to go with your second question? Are you sure?
Sure, I'll go with my second question first. I even wrote an answer down for this one.
Perfect.
I said, going straight for the main one, should Phoenix have been in this game? Would you remove him completely or change his role?
I don't think he should have been in it. That's my answer. But if he had to be, what would I do with him? I think
Why are you winking?
because I would do loads of things with Phoenix. It was in my
Oh
room.
my god. This is
No,
the
I
first
think
time the roles have been reversed.
usually it's about the bellboy, his internet history. This time it's about Phoenix. I think I wouldn't have him in this disheveled role. Because we've watched this person grow into an amazing lawyer. Please don't make him a weirdo and someone who like gives false evidence and who's shady. And we've been him. We've played as him for like 3 games. We trust him. It's like a representation of the game spirit. Please don't do this. I would maybe have him as Apollo's boss, kind of a Mia figure. He could be like, if you don't want him, he wasn't that much in the game. You could have him like, being overseas and kind of not being there for Apollo and not really helping him, but I wouldn't have him the way he was presented.
Yeah.
What about you?
Basically, the note I wrote under it, I said mistreatment of Phoenix. And it's a list of things that really pissed me off about him being in this game. So I said the new appearance is so disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
His addiction to air quotes grape
Grape
juice
juice.
is so disrespectful.
Don't talk about Phoenix this way.
His fall from grace, who is like being this well-known lawyer with a streak of winning cases. I finished Farewell My Turnabout and I went back and I'm playing Rise from the Ashes before I go on to play Trials and Tribulations for my second playthrough. And Emma Skye busts into the office and says, "You're Mia Fey." And Phoenix is like, "No, I'm Phoenix Wright." And she's like, "Wait a minute, the famous Phoenix Wright?"
Yeah.
So to take that away from him, if in the first game he was that well known, and by the fourth game he becomes this, whatever
Grape
that is,
juice drinker.
yeah, like it's insane. And
Yeah.
the reason behind all of this is that the fact that he lost his badge to a rookie prosecutor who isn't such a major character.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking when I was writing this, what if he had lost his badge to Edgeworth and that caused a rift between the two, and they weren't talking. That would be much more
That would be
interesting.
so interesting. Clavier is such a meh kind of prosecutor. It's so
Yeah.
lackluster. Even like to Francisca or something like that, that would have so much more impact. And also, I keep saying it, I think I remember correctly that during the first ever trial of Apollo Justice, he gives a false evidence to Apollo.
I think it's true. I think it has something to do
That's,
with the cards.
yeah, a card and he like gives the spade or something, but like, that is so disappointing.
I
Like,
know.
that's not Phoenix right.
That's not Phoenix. And also, then I said, giving him a daughter and not giving him Iris and making him so useless and mysterious and always talking in code. And also, even the office being turned into the anything agency.
Yeah. Like, please clean this place, sir.
It's it was just utter
Mm.
disrespect towards the main character
Towards
of the
Ma-
series.
towards Mia as well. Like that
Yeah.
was Mia's office. I doubt that Phoenix would let his daughter create chaos in it. Like it's a respectable place. It has meaning, it has value.
So yeah, I think he shouldn't have been in this game. I think he shouldn't have been in the second trilogy at all. This was supposed
Mm,
to be Apollo's trilogy, and if they stuck to what they've done, I've said this like countless times, but if they stuck to what they've done with what they started with, um, they could have made a second trilogy on Apollo and
definitely.
developed this character, given him more depth, given him a steady and a single storyline for background.
Yeah. Like a coherent
Yeah,
backstory.
and also even if he was like a boss or a well-known lawyer behind the scenes, that would be okay, but don't disrespect him like that.
Exactly. I honestly think I would honestly appreciate Apollo Justice so much better if Phoenix wouldn't be in that game.
Yeah,
Like, because I could make the look, oh, it's a new kind of Ace Attorney games. There's no Phoenix. Maybe if it wasn't set like in a different city,
like
you know?
investigations.
Yeah, like investigation. Like, this is so disappointing.
I know. Perfect. So, what's your first question?
My first question is, out of the character of this game, who has the most punchable face? There's loads of them with a very punchable face.
Um, I'm sorry if this isn't too on the nose. It's Apollo.
Hmm.
Facts.
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 But also kind of what's his name?
That's not
Valent
very
Grammary.
precise. Oh, the guy with the mustache?
Yeah.
Valent, yeah.
Valent and Machi Tobaye. The blind kid.
Of course.
Of
Of
course.
course.
And it would be a really, really, really strong punch for any of these.
You would take pleasure in it.
Yeah, like, I would give it my all. It would be a work of art, a spectacle,
A spectacle. Love
unhinged,
this. Unhinged.
unhinged energy. Gina, you're
You are
unhinged.
unhinged?
I'm unhinged, darling. So, what's your answer?
My answer was Wokikitaki. I think he's so annoying, but also that student dude,
Oh,
he has such a punchable face.
something. Was it something Stickler?
I vaguely
Wait,
remember his name,
wait.
but I do remember his punchable face.
He does have a punchable face.
You
That's true.
know?
Wesley Stickler.
Yeah, Wesley. I would like to punch him in the face.
Iconic.
Respectfully, of course.
Also, may I suggest Alita Tiala?
Mm, very annoying.
I'd punch her in the boobs.
That does hurt.
Amazing.
Little information for you guys. It does hurt.
Is that the first question?
That was my first question, yeah.
Amazing first question. You can
Very
tell
important.
you can tell right off the bat from just the question she asked how much Lucy loves this game.
Yes.
She
Yes.
really does.
I do. I love it.
So, my second question is rank the following characters based on depth from most to least. Apollo, Trucy, Clavier, Christoph, Lamiroir, and Emma.
Okay.
From most to least.
From most depth to least. Can you say those names again?
Apollo, Trucy, Clavier, and Christoph, Lamiroir, and Emma Sky.
I think Emma Skies has a lot of depth,
Yes.
but
That's my
that's not
answer.
because that's not really Apollo's Justice like thing because we've already known her. I actually think that Emma Sky is a really interesting character, and especially in Apollo Justice. Like she really wanted something, and I'm interested in failure. I think that's an interesting topic, and I think that's an interesting story. Like she's a disappointed kid who kind of hates her job and is excited to do forensic stuff, but really can't do it. So I like that. I think she has loads of depth.
That's my answer as well. Emma, out of that lineup, has most definitely the most depth.
Mm,
And of
for
course, it's
sure.
because the first game did the heavy lifting in terms of like establishing her as a character.
Yeah.
But despite kind of her mistreatment, her being grumpy, I love the turn of character. I
I think
mean,
I really liked it too, and I think it kind of almost played out as a Apollo was a very annoying character, so having someone like she was kind of the voice of the player, you know what
like
I
put him in
mean?
his place,
Yeah,
snacku him.
smaku him.
But yeah, I love her. I think she is the voice of reason slash the player. I like how she doesn't really dig Apollo,
Mm. It
and
had
she
like
might not have achieved her goals from the first, excuse me, from the first game, but I think it's really interesting. Like it was a
yeah,
complete 180 from
it
being cheerful and peppy and
yeah.
writing everything down on her notebook, and then she just becomes this like nihilistic jerk. And
I think as
I
sad as it is, it's really well written and realistic.
yeah, and her being a nihilistic jerk, I can 100% relate.
Mm,
I might like give her a lot of shit throughout, but that's because like the main idea I have of her, like the image, is from the first game, like Rise from the Ashes.
yeah,
Because
you
since
actually dig Emma Sky from
I'm
Apollo
pretty
Justice.
down with Emma Sky as an investigator.
Mm,
Like I think it's a really interesting choice.
yeah. I think the reason you also kind of dislike first trilogy Emma is she's presented and set up to be always compared to Maya. She's a Maya kind of replacement. And that was really unfair because no one is going to be as good as Maya.
Yeah. So then who would come
So
next?
I think Trucy has kind of a lot of depth. I think her story with her dad is really interesting and how she kind of like adopted Phoenix as much as he adopted her.
Uh-huh.
And she's an interesting character. I do like her. Um and then for the rest the fourth. They're all bad in different ways.
Go on.
I think my
Okay.
third pick would be
Wait. Because you have like you're explaining it really well. I'll tell
Mm,
you the way I do it because I don't really have an explanation. And you
okay,
can go next because I agree with mostly what you're saying.
tell me.
It's just that after Emma Sky, the quality drops
Yeah, like MS
drastically.
Guy. Yeah.
And you've said it correctly. It's because Rise from the Ashes does the heavy lifting.
Mm,
Like she's already established.
yeah.
So the way I rank it is Emma, Trucy, La Miroir, Clavier, Apollo, Christoph.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I was gonna say for my next person, Clavier,
Mm.
because I don't think he has loads of depth, but I do think it's a well-rounded character. He's coherent. I think he's like a kind of a puppy-like person. He's just kind of there and happy and blonde and playing guitar. And he we don't hear a lot about his thoughts because I don't think he has loads of them. You know what I mean? So he would be my third pick. And then I would put
We do
Lamir.
actually
Mm,
we do kind of see character development because we see kind of his bratty side in the flashbacks as well.
yeah, kinda. Yeah.
So
But then
then,
I would put like maybe Lamirar.
mm,
I don't think she has loads of depth though. She's kind of like there and she's like not taking loads of accountability and her whole shtick is that she lost memory. So that's not super profound to me.
all of the disabilities.
Yeah, and then Apollo because da and then Kristoff is such a mess. Like he's such a flat villain. Like his whole reason for being a villain is like, I'm evil. No reasoning, no.
True.
It's not interesting. You know, it's not interesting.
We have very similar lists.
Yeah, I'm glad we agreed on Trucy and Emma.
And Apollo and Clavier.
Yeah,
Excuse me, Christoph.
yeah,
Apollo, he's not main character material.
yeah. He's at best a sidekick,
Hmm. He'd
but
be
yeah.
like a witness in a case, um, which only speaks during the investigation, doesn't actually take the stand.
Hmm.
Like Lisa Basil. Mm-hmm.
It would be Lisa Basil. Amazing. That says a lot.
Maybe Lisa Basil is the actual mother of Apollo.
Oh my god, amazing. So, my next question is how would you redesign Clavier?
Ah,
Because we talked a lot about redesigning Clavier with our amazing fan art, which does an amazing job at like presenting another version of Clavier. So I was like wondering, what would you do with him?
Firstly, I get rid of the hair
Mm,
because it looks like Link's hat from Zelda. Um, but that being said, I like the suit. I like his tan. I like the blue eyes. I like that he's blonde. It's just he needs like a redesign on some of the aspects he already has.
yeah.
Like give him a suit with a pattern or like a chain or make him like if you're gonna make him a rock star, go full in. Like give him a mohawk or give him a shaved head or um I don't know, give him a tattoo
You
or a
can't see me, but I'm nodding
yeah,
aggressively.
she's nodding aggressively throughout. Or I don't know, give him like gold teeth or earrings, something. Like, why does Manfred von Karma have earrings and not Clavier? That she's nodding even more aggressively, if that's even possible.
The nodding got even more aggressive.
Um, but I have to say I do really like his flashback look with the glasses, which scream 2004 Los Angeles red carpet, like those burgundy brown purple glasses.
Definitely. Cute.
And I like the darker color palette for him, like dark purple
Mm,
burgundy. Yeah. What about you?
loads of similar things. I like the suit a lot, and I like his color pattern, like the blonde hair, the purple. I don't like the shape of the hair. It looks like a rat tails. It's not like it's not thick. It goes slimmer, and I hate that. I hate it. I don't necessarily hate the long hair, but a cuter haircut. Like an
Hmm.
even kind of long bob, maybe. I don't know. Or a shaved hair. And I do love his shorter hair look. But I was thinking, piercings. I wanted to see like something a little edgier. He's a
Yeah.
rock star after all.
Hmm.
So yeah, a different hairstyle and piercings. That's how I would style it. But I do think his like flashback looks, wow.
Hmm.
Really, really cute.
Yeah.
I
But
would
not the hair.
understand why girls would have like poster of him in their room. You know,
But not the hair.
what hair?
The hair from the flashback.
I like it over the long hair. It's spiky. It's interesting.
It's like mom hair.
It's like Karen hair.
Yeah.
Mm. I'm not mad at it. I like it over the rat's tail.
I when you mentioned that, I was laughing and like I almost lost my shit because I was thinking that we actually went ahead and named our 10 episode mice.
Yes, mice. You
Mice.
know,
A,
mice.
a pivotal part of the Turnabout podcast mythology.
Yeah, the mice debacle.
Unhinged. Unhinged
Unhinged.
behavior.
Yes.
So my next question is, apart from Gael Dune's dog, Spoon, there are no animals in this game. Do you think that's the reason why it's so hated?
Yes. That is
Same.
true. I gasped when you said that. It's shocking.
I do
Why would
think
they
that's the
remove?
reason behind it being hated.
Mm, definitely.
I don't hate it that much, but
No animals,
no
you
animals.
monster. You actual like insane person. Why would you take that away from us?
No animals.
No animals. Was that your
Perfect.
question?
Yeah, that was my third question.
So, my next question is, why is Apollo so boring, in your opinion? Contrary to Phoenix, and how would you change it?
I have a very similar question.
Okay. Once again, our minds are connected
In
and are
harmony.
aligned
Mm-hmm.
in harmony.
I think it's everything
Mm,
about him. From the design to the sloppy backstory to him not having almost any recognizable character traits or sympathy. Like, who the fuck cares if you can scream at the top of your lung or if,
yeah.
like, you have the cords of steel? Like, just brag about those when you're blowing someone, not before the trial.
Oh my god. Oh my
Um,
god.
I like even the bracelet. I really like. Like, I think I prefer the bracelet more than the Magatama
Mm,
gameplay, but it still didn't make sense.
yeah.
Like, it didn't make sense,
It's so.
and I don't know. He's very annoying. He doesn't have a backstory. He's just like
He's just there.
even when he was like I'm just getting mad because I'm thinking of when he was at the concert and he was like, I don't want to be here. Like, you come in there with this defeatist, negative
Mm.
as fuck attitude, and you're at a concert, like a rock concert, and a guitar catches
You're like
fire.
backstage passes at a concert and you're still not having fun. Maybe the problem is you, you know?
He's just like the guy who is the worst
Mm,
IRL. Like, that colleague you don't want to be associated with.
yeah.
What's your answer?
I
Oh,
was
I don't know
thinking
how I
about it.
change it.
Yeah, I don't know
I
how to
mean,
change it too.
he
But
needs a complete,
he
like,
needs a complete new personality.
yeah, like an
And
overhaul.
that could go like in super different directions. But I think there's something aggressive about Apollo. Like I think it's because of the cords of steel. There's something like angry about him that I hate. I think like what makes Phoenix work so well is that he's kind of like a lovable. I'm gonna say a bit like a loser. He's like a rookie. He
Yeah.
kind of you're figuring out how this game works as he's figuring out how the like legal system works. And so you really put all your trust in him and you're like, let me follow this dude. But with Apollo, he has this defeated and aggressive attitude about
Mm.
everything.
Mm.
And yeah, he sucks. I'm
Um,
sorry to say it.
listen, I sympathize with Phoenix because he had like obviously such major anxiety.
Yeah,
And there was like a cynical like undertone to it as well. Like, maybe he wouldn't have fun at a concert if Maya dragged him there, but like, for example, at
I
the
think he would try. You know what
yeah,
I
he
mean?
tried like
Mm,
in Farewell My Turnabout at the Samurai show.
yeah,
He wasn't complaining the whole time. Like,
yeah.
he didn't get it, but he wasn't complaining, and he was like, I don't know, like, he's
His ringtone is the
sympathetic.
Turnabout Samurai. Is like
Yeah.
the samurai like theme song. So and like so it's Maya who put it there and he didn't change it. Like he's just a lovable person.
Look, what I wanted to say before is that they're both losers, but
Mm,
Phoenix is the loser you're rooting for and that you sympathize with, whereas Apollo is the loser who's like, mom comes home from the grocery store and she's like, they didn't have any Doritos, honey, I'm sorry. And he screams at her and goes up to
mm,
his room and punches the wall
exactly.
and
That's the
screams.
aggressiveness I was talking
Mm,
about. I think if they were both single males, like if they were both virgins, Apollo would be an incel and Phoenix would be like, "Oh, I'll find the right one eventually." You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's their core difference.
I hate Apollo.
Yeah, he's like
What's
he's
his deal?
so what's his deal? Yeah. He's not fun. I agree. I have you agree that Phoenix is the best. He's a lovable loser, which is exactly my type in men.
I mean, staying to the pattern, Athena is also kind of a loser,
Yeah.
but
She's much more lovable than Apollo, I think.
way more like way more different than both Apollo and Phoenix. Like, Athena is a
Mm,
lonely loser.
yeah.
The
She
one
is.
the one who had to make the best out of the horrible situation she found herself in.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't have friends, but
She had widgets. Okay. I do think like Athena was very clearly like a loner in high school.
she definitely was a loner in high
She
school.
she ate her lunch in the toilet
Mm.
because she was afraid of like sitting with people. I think I would have hung out with her in high school.
Oh, poor thing, like, Who did she consult if she didn't have a dad or a mom? Who did she
Yeah.
consult? Like being an orphan, who did she consult? And she was studying abroad as well, so who did she consult or ask when she had to go out on a date? I feel like
Oh, that's so sad.
I feel like Athena would be Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls. Regina George would be Francisca.
That is very true.
I don't
I
know
feel
who
like
Karen and Gretchen would be.
Edgeworth would be Gretchen. That's just a fact.
Who's that guy who does the math leads?
Oh, I don't know. Who would that be?
Bellboy.
Bellboy. Pervert. No, but like, yeah. We've gone a bit off trails, but they're like all of the protagonists are losers, but Apollo is a hateful loser.
And Athena's Lindsay Lohan character would hang out with Jinx as what's her name? I'm forgetting the names.
Janice.
Yeah, Janice would be Jinx. And what's the other guy's name?
We should do an episode which is just like recasting movies with character from the game.
What's the gay
Damien?
guy's name? Yeah, Damien would be Sean Armstrong.
Amazing. I would watch that. I would watch it.
There's gonna be a timestamp.
Yes. We're 50 minutes in.
Perfect.
What's your next question?
My next question is, this is a mouthful. Familial relations play a big role in this game. Apollo and Trucy are siblings and the children of La Mirror, who belongs to a family of magicians. Furthermore, Phoenix adopts Trucy, Clavier and Christopher brothers. We meet the Kitaki family in the second case, and we defend Vera Misham after her father passes away. Is killed. Do you think this was pushed so hard on purpose, and could you do without it?
I was also thinking Christoph and Clavier are brothers. So...
I said it.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear that. Yeah, I think it's pushed a lot.
Like, maybe too much.
It's in every single case. With La Mirror being...
Is it in Serenade?
With La Mirror being the real mother, it is, kinda. Like, every single case has relatives involved.
Why?
And I get the idea of a theme, but I prefer quality over quantity.
Here's the thing.
And I think those, like, familiar relationships weren't dealt with really well. So I'd rather have fewer, but really interesting relationship and dynamics than have this many, which is kind of like, blah.
Here's the thing. For a game which was, like, setting out to reboot the franchise and, like, start something new, it's not really, you don't really pick it up when you play it, but it kind of, like, relies heavily on the first trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have many return characters, but everyone being related is kind of like playing it safe, and it makes it seem kind of like claustrophobic.
I get that.
Like, there's this family of magicians who the mother is defended by her son secretly, and Trucy is actually brothers with Apollo, but also the father is the father of Trucy, but not Apollo, and is defended by Phoenix, who then adopts Trucy. So, like, it doesn't really allow for something new. Like, it plays it really safe. Like, oh, these people are related, so you have to, like, get along with them all. Yeah.
I agree. I think it wasn't utilized well. It could be done better for sure.
Yeah. What's next?
What now? My next question is kind of in the same vein. I don't know if you're going to agree with this. I do think Clavier is a bit bland. And why do you think he's like that? Like, why do you think he's such a forgettable prosecutor?
Of course I agree. What do you mean?
Okay. Because, like, I do sort of like him, but I think he's super forgettable and bland.
For a rock star,
Mm,
he doesn't pack any of the star quality
yeah.
or
No
the
charisma.
charisma. Oh, we said the same
No
thing.
charisma, yeah.
No charisma. Like, very forgetful, even though he comes back in Turnabout Academy.
Yeah.
What was that
Just
about?
bring back Iris.
Okay. Bring back Godot, bitch.
Bring back Godot for sure.
Um, so what was the question? If he's bland?
Why do you think that is? And I
Oh,
also wrote, how would you fix it? But,
it's the same
bitch.
question as Apollo. And I think
Mm,
it's the same answer. Like, the appearance doesn't pop out. The background makes his action, the lack of background makes his actions kind of like nonsensical, and his motivations a mystery. Like, we're not given, like, it's the writing, it's all dependent on the writing. And, like, for example, we only get to know Francisca for 2 cases, and we
and
instantly
yet,
fall in love with her.
yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
Clavier is like in 3 cases, and we never like think of him again.
Mm,
And I think that speaks a lot on the writing.
definitely. Very true, bestie.
I don't know how to fix it. I'd probably say go big or go home.
Yeah, I think like you could have him still be a friendly prosecutor because that was kind of interesting having someone not hate us and not be an asshole.
Yeah.
But I feel like his motivation were kind of a mystery. Why is he still a prosecutor even though he's a rock star? Like, why? Just kind of things that don't really make sense in a
It
way.
was too random to
He lacked
comprehend.
intention, he lacked depth.
Mm.
I do like him as a person. As a prosecutor, he's not fun, he's not interesting, and he's not, like, he's so forgettable.
And like, I was thinking, we almost never get to see his sprites where he gets frustrated, because everything Apollo does, he's just like, you're gonna almost win this case? Sure.
Mm,
He doesn't really
go for
care.
it, buddy. Yeah. Like, he doesn't seem that invested in his job, considering he also has a side gig he's a fucking rock star on the side. So I understand why he's not, like, that invested in prosecuting, but, like, why have him be the lead prosecutor if he's gonna be, like, not really caring about it?
Perfect.
Okay. What is your question, bestie?
My other question is, do you like the idea of the 7-year time jump?
No.
Wait. um, do you like the idea of the 7-year time jump? Not much has changed from the original trilogy apart from noticeable absences such as Maya and Gumshoe. The latter made even more noticeable through his air quotes cameo in Turnabout Succession, which are not explained in the game. Like their absences
Mm.
from the game aren't explained.
I don't like it. I think it's a cheap trick to kind of like, oh, these people are not there because, like, in the future, and Phoenix is that different because it's in the future. I would much rather have it set in a completely different city. That would explain why we don't see Maya and Edgeworth and Gumshoe, and I think it would be like a clean slate. I don't like this. What do you think?
Honestly, same. And I hadn't thought of the idea of like changing the location, but it makes perfect sense. That's how Pokemon has been getting away with doing the same shit for so many
Mm,
years. They're just
exactly.
changing the region,
Yeah.
introducing a new region.
Because like I got the idea because so many TV shows when they do like a reboot, they're like, oh, it's a new city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it works well.
That would be perfect. And like even if you were persistent on doing the 7 year
Mm.
jump, at least give it some flavor. Like what changed in
Yeah.
7 years?
Mm.
Nothing.
Not much. Not much interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you don't
My
have to
name.
make it dystopian, but at least
Mm.
give it some like future flavor.
Yeah. You could do anything. It's your game.
Dua
Bring in
Lipa, future nostalgia.
Dua Lipa, future nostalgia.
Very happy we're on the same page.
Yeah. My next question is, where would you put Larry?
Oh, not in this mess of a game.
I mean, he could maybe slightly improve it.
I have two picks.
Tell me.
Um, one, he could be the drummer of the Gaviners. Like
We were robbed.
imagine him with a bandana
Oh my
and a leather
god.
jacket and drumsticks and
Hot
like
Larry?
crazy glasses. Yeah.
Amazing.
And the other one would be instead of Alita Tiala, make him be engaged to Waki Kitagi.
I love this. I love this. The gold digger that he is.
Make like Larry Butts is exuding pansexual energy.
That was exactly my point.
You know?
I was about to say this. I had written, so my picks was make Larry a bisexual groupie of the Gaviners obsessed with Clavier. And having him like sneak backstage with a shirt of the Gaviners. Larry is bi or pansexual. Like, it's just a given.
It
This
is.
man wants to fuck anyone. You know, he's just attracted to beauty. He just cares about the aesthetic. And I think he would be obsessed with Clavier. I think Larry and Clavier would be such a cute couple. And so having
Totally.
like being this obsessed groupie or a bit of a safer choice would be, have him in like being one of the artists that works with Vermission.
Sure.
Because he was an artist in the last time we saw him. But make Larry die again.
Again?
Again, for sure.
Okay. A really good question. And amazing answers. My next question is the Mason. I
Mason?
think that's how it's pronounced. The Mason system is a huge part of
Oh,
the game, seeing as it's what occupied Phoenix throughout. What's your opinion on the Jerry system? Did it work? And if not, why?
it.
Also, quick fix.
Hmm?
Why is it called the Mason system? Wouldn't it make more sense if like it was called the Maison system, like maison from French being house?
Mm.
Isn't that what it means?
Yeah, it does. It
Then what the
does mean
fuck?
house. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it makes sense. And I think it makes even less sense considering that's the whole purpose of the game. And then the very next
Oh my
game,
god.
it completely disappears. Like, you bitches knew what you were doing. You knew this wasn't interesting, so you took it out immediately when you had the chance. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't change anything, and I don't like it.
It'd be. Look, if. Like a lot of things from this game, they should have had the balls to stick with it, even though they screwed it up, obviously, the first time. Like, if it didn't
Mm.
work out the first time, make it better. Don't make it
Yeah,
not make
improve it.
sense. Improve it. Like, for example, Apollo. Give him something which would, like, make him go on edge. Like,
Yeah.
give him a near-death experience or something. Don't make him a side character and bring Phoenix back in
He
Dual
does have a
Destinies.
near-death experience in Dual Destiny.
And that doesn't fix anything.
Yeah.
But
That doesn't change his personality. He doesn't grow from it. He just removes his bandage.
For
That's
example,
all.
if, like, imagine the second trilogy being an Apollo trilogy. Apollo still being the main character and Phoenix not being anywhere in it or just a mentor. And imagine the Mason system sticking around and being a new gameplay mechanic, or even like something which would play a big part in the trials. Like, imagine trials where instead of like trying to get to the witness, you also have to find out secretly through a connection, which is Phoenix, who is going to be in the jury, and having to like interview them and convince them that you're right. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I would like to see that.
Not
It had
don't
potential.
I mean, don't put it in and then scrap it.
Yeah.
But
It felt
also
lazy.
the execution was so bad. Like,
For sure.
why is Lamiroir part of the jury?
That feels illegal. Like,
She's
is
from
that
another
allowed?
country.
Yeah. And she's like super involved with everyone from the cases. She's the mother of like the pol. It's just it doesn't feel well thought out, and it had
Like,
potential, but they didn't work on it.
it was like the whole game depended on like all of it leading up to the jury system, and it was not worth it. Like, absolutely not worth it. And it was the final
Absolutely.
twist that put Kristoff away.
All
Like,
of this for that.
I kind of like the idea that Kristoff is like the traditional lawyer who like even dresses up like as a fancy lawyer with his bow and glasses, and at the end it's because he wasn't able to move along with the times that's what got to him, because he depended on getting a full acquittal after like being found innocent.
Yeah.
And the last, like, the straw that breaks the camel's back is the jury system. But it still doesn't make sense because Kristoff doesn't make sense.
It's not a interesting or well thought out character.
Yes. So what's your next question, Lucy?
My next
Bestie
question.
Lucy.
Bestie Aris. My next question is, how would you redesign the Papa Hat outfit? A very heavy conversation incoming. Like, keep Hobo Phoenix, but how would you improve his looks?
I'm gonna say something controversial yet very brave.
Please don't say what you're about to say.
I wouldn't change anything.
Ah!
I'm sorry, but that represents that era so well.
I am in pain. I've been betrayed.
She's dying.
And I'm shocked. I'm in a state of shock.
When Lady Gaga wrote Judas, she was thinking of me.
Yes. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. But not for me. I'm so pissed. I'm fuming.
Are you fuming, love?
I'm fuming, love.
After that picture, when Kay Sholmes pasted his head onto what's his name? That dude from Twilight, Robert Pattinson's body. I was sold. I was like, that is the same energy. Filthy Lonsdale Adidas jacket and the Papa hat, like hairs on the chin, like stubble, some filthy pants and flip flops. Maybe even socks with flip flops. What about you? How would you change it? Would you burn the Papa hat?
Yes. Yes. Uh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Perfect.
I like. I kind of like the locket. I think that's a cute detail. I hate the colors of the Papa hat. Like it feels so. I hate the outfit. I can't say anything positive about it. I'm looking at it right now and I'm in
And
pain.
then what would you change?
Everything. I don't. I think I would pick a coherent color palette that kind of still reflects on his past look. Maybe have him put in like a darker blue or something like that. And he can be casual without looking like a homeless person. Especially if in the next game he's gonna come out with a vest and like he's super fancy all of a sudden in the next game. Like why have him be so badly dressed and then so well dressed in the very next game? It doesn't make sense. He could have been a casual, just a white t-shirt and jeans, and I would have been okay with it. But the Papa hat and the stubble, I kind of like the stubble actually. But the tracksuit in the flip flops, it's causing physical harm to me.
She's in pain, guys.
It punched me in the face and stole my purse.
It punched you in the boobs.
Yeah, and it's super painful. Look it up, guys.
Perfect.
Yes, so
Let
that
me
was my
relieve you of
question.
your pain by asking the next question.
Perfect.
My next question is, let's talk about Apollo. Do you think he's a worthy protege successor to Phoenix's legacy? What would you change in order to make him more likable and have him connect more with the player? We've kind of answered this already, but short answer is no. I don't think he's a worthy successor slash protege.
Yeah, same.
I
He
think he
is.
should have been his own thing.
Yeah, and he doesn't really respect Phoenix that much throughout the game, so he doesn't feel worthy of the succession. Like, he's not even someone who seems to admire and like him, so definitely not. I don't like him. I and for once maybe have him be a little more grateful and a little bit more open-minded and less aggressive.
Yeah.
That would be my pick.
Perfect. That was very short
Mm.
and brief. What about you?
We've kind of like grazed upon it, but what do you think is the game's biggest flaw?
The script.
Mm.
By far and away, the script.
The writing for sure.
Like, it's the writing. It all revolves around the writing. Even if you had bland characters within a decent story, which is that's kind of like the description I would give to investigations too.
Bland character in a really good story.
I mean, I could say the same things I said about Clavier, about Blaze the Best, Patricia Rowland, even Simon Keyes. But that worked better because it had such a good story.
Yeah.
So I think it's a script.
Yeah, I think it's the writing too, because in the writing I also put like the character is so boring. Everything is so forgettable when it comes to like the character and the story, And in the other way around, I think a kind of okay-ish story, but with really fun character and really interesting like kind of dynamics and things going on in interactions, maybe it wouldn't be the best game, but at least you would like enjoy playing it. At least it'll be entertaining, you know?
I think that's like Dual Destinies.
I was gonna say,
Like
I
you
was gonna
have
say
like
maybe potentially Justice for All
I
because it
was
doesn't
thinking
have a
about the
super
same thing.
strong story,
Yeah.
but the characters are so much fun. Like Francisca is amazing. Yeah,
Look,
but I do agree on Dual Destiny.
um, Justice for All, like the script isn't like on the level of the other two in the trilogy, but I think it's still like it's not bad.
It's still really good.
Whereas Dual Destinies, a lot of it is so bland narrative wise,
Yeah,
but the characters they stick with you. Like
the characters, yeah, are
even though I
amazing.
hate them, like they're really memorable. Like even if they don't make sense, their vividness. Like for example, Mayor Tenma
Mm,
turning into that gargoyle thing,
yeah,
or
that
Robin
wrestler you
Newman,
mean?
or what?
That wrestler you mean? That
No,
gargoyle?
not Rex Kyuubi. When you're defending Mayor Tenma and he turns into a monster
Okay, I
and
get what you
his
mean.
his eyes go white,
Mm,
or Aristotle Means, you know, even Aura Blackquill and Simon Blackquill, who
yeah,
aren't my favorites.
and I
Aura
think
Blackquill is my favorite. Not
yeah,
I'm referring to Simon.
I think the best example of that is that you redid your tier list and you were shocked that so many characters were in like perfect tier from Dual Destinies.
Yeah,
Dual Destinies has a lot of flaws within the story, but what sticks with you is how great the characters are. They're unforgettable.
especially from the aquatic.
Yes, like it's so much fun. Dr. Krabs,
I'm so
Nomadic
happy.
Plume.
I'm so happy we're on the level where we can directly point out that Investigations 2 has a strong script but weak characters, where Dual Destinies has weak
Mm,
script and strong characters, and Apollo Justice has neither.
yeah,
But yeah, we pointed out that like we made a case for ourselves.
exactly. I think that's a really good point, I am. Thank you for bringing that up.
This is gonna be a timestamp. Not the Diane thing, as unpacking
Yeah,
this entire thing.
I think that's the biggest flaw of Apollo Justice. It failed to do what those two games did.
I'm proud of us.
Mm, we're high
Virtual high
fiving.
five.
Yeah,
My next question is, why is it brown?
that is so true. And that's amazing that I opened with that and that was like another question.
Yes.
It's brown because it's bland.
It's brown because brown is the color of poop.
Mm. I do like actually the color brown, but I think it has to be like a vivid brown. And this
Like
is like,
proper.
I think like I have like this brown coat that I really like. You know what I mean? You know the
I
one?
know which
I'll,
one you're talking about.
you know, and like it's a nice shade. I
That's
think this
copper.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I think brown can be interesting, but it has to have intensity.
like
And
brass
this game,
wire, vivid. I
mm,
know. Like light brown.
yeah.
This one was
This
like
game,
poop.
yeah, it's just
Poop
like
brown.
bland and lacking intensity. And I don't like it. That
Perfect.
was perfect.
So what's your next question?
My next question, Bastiaris, is now that we talked about the biggest flaw, what do you think are the strengths of the game?
My next question was some positivity. Some positivity. Why do you actually like? What do you actually like about this game? Do you know what my answer is? Because I know what my answer is.
I don't know what your answer is.
The art.
Oh yeah, of course.
This game has the best art in the entire
Mm,
franchise, by far and away. And I played it on phone, on my iPhone, not even on the DS. Imagine how crispy, like not crispy, how crisp and vivid it would be if they made a port for Switch.
yeah.
Like, it wasn't the pixelated art, which is quite nostalgic but not really wow
Mm,
from the first trilogy. but it wasn't a 3D mess from the Dual
Yes.
Destinies and Spirit of Justice. It was so good. Like, I'm so happy I played that game just for the art.
That is
Legit.
really new. That is really cute.
I love the art. I really do.
Mm.
Everything about it. Like the colors, the
Yeah.
sprites.
The style.
Yeah.
We were robbed because we didn't have that for the like imagine Dual Destiny in that like kind of style. That would have been so good.
Like Athena as 2D. What about you?
I said I appreciate what it tried to do. I like
But didn't.
yeah, I think I like the idea of bringing a completely new character. And I appreciate the boldness of it. Like it tried to forge its own path. Its own path. I think it had like good intention and it was like ready to accomplish something. And I think it has some good ideas, like having the grand villain being like I like the idea of a attorney being the grand villain and kind of like another mentor, I think.
Like on
I thought
paper, it
about
had
it.
lots of
Yeah,
potential.
I think it had good intention and good idea. I kind of hate that Christoph was found to be like was revealed to be the culprit in the first case. I think it would have been such a better game if it was like a normal, regular first case,
Like
and
if
then
instead of
he was your
Phoenix, we had
mentor.
Kristoff.
Yeah, and like,
That's
and then at the
how you
end,
fix it.
exactly like you build a real relationship between Phoenix and between Kristoff and Apollo, like one of trust, and then having to like go against your own mentor, that could be so interesting.
Yeah.
But we were robbed of that because they met him, like they put him in prison the first trial.
And they
And so
tried to make that in
yeah,
Spirit of Justice when Apollo went against Phoenix, but that
it
didn't feel
didn't
right
work.
either.
It didn't work, and like it felt so lackluster being Kristoff being the final villain because we already know he's a bad guy. I wanted a surprise, and that wasn't it. So I'm again talking about the flaws of the game in a section that should be positive, but I do think it had some good ideas
And the art style.
and the art style.
Perfect. So my penultimate question, how many do you have left?
I have two
I have two. I thought I had
because
more.
one of your question was what?
That was a great question. So my penultimate question is choose one case to give to Raymond Shields and one to give to Gregory Edgeworth.
Oh, I think this is tough.
You need time to think.
Okay, I think I've got it.
Okay.
I was gonna say I think both Gregory Edgeworth and Raymond Shields could be so much fun at Turnabout Serenade because it's giving me really strong Raymond Shields vibe. I think it would be so in his element, but at the same time, I think it would be really fun having interaction with Gregory Edgeworth. I think it would be so out of place. It could be fun. But I'll give that one to Raymond Shield. I think it'd be really in his vibe. And I'd give the final case to Gregory Edgeworth because he's so good with kids. He's such a great dad. And I think he'd be fantastic with both Trucy and Vera Mission. Because they both desperately need a father figure. And he's an excellent one. What about you?
I agree on the Gregory Edgeworth one. If I had to choose just one case and not an episode, I would give Gregory Edgeworth the flashback case from Turnabout Succession. Because not only would he be amazing with Drucy, but also because I feel like fake evidence wouldn't be enough to like do him in and he wouldn't lose his badge against Clavier.
That
Like
is
he would
true.
know how to manage it well.
Yeah.
And also it's a flashback episode. That's what Gregory Edgeworth does. Flashbacks. Because now he's
Flashbacks.
dead.
Amazing.
Whereas Raymond Shields, okay, so here's how I imagine Raymond Shields. I think Raymond Shields isn't skilled as an attorney.
Okay.
I think like he's another type of attorney. Like he's not gifted or skilled like his mentor
Mm.
Gregory or Phoenix or Mia. In turn, he actually has lots of connections and he's
Oh.
like kind of like a friendly neighborhood attorney. Like he's kind of
Yeah.
like shady, but not in a bad way. Like he has lots of connections, and that's how he gets why he's kind of like sleek and sleazy.
Yeah,
And
I think he's the type of guy who like would pull strings and like would not put you in trials. Like
yeah,
he's the kind of guy who would cancel your parking tickets.
yeah, like he wouldn't. It's not that like, he'd show fake evidence, but he'd like pull some strings to make the judge more lenient, or like arrange a
Mm.
good courtroom, or because he has lots of friends in high places. But also, that's kind of why he, like the Edgeworth Law Office, never took off after Gregory's
Mm.
death. Like, it's because he's not that skilled, and that's all right. And I think because of like his lack of ambition, and like because we've never heard of him before, and like he's based in a neighborhood, I think I'd give him Turnabout Corner, which like
Hmm.
handles lots of small stories from the neighborhood, like the stolen panties or the Gael Dune being a doctor, or like the Palmiractis clinic being like for mafia people. Like he'd know who to talk to for each one.
Yeah, I do get that.
Perfect. So what's your penultimate question, bestie Jar Jar Binks?
My second to last question is, as I was thinking about it, I thought of something and I want your thought. What would you think it would be like if keeping the exact same story, but instead of Apollo and Trucy, we had Phoenix and Maya?
Like Phoenix being the brother
Phoenix
of Maya.
being, no, like in my head would be Phoenix and Maya as the main attorneys, and like instead of Hobo Phoenix, like a random attorney that Phoenix looked up to, you know?
But that wouldn't work out, would it?
You think it wouldn't work out?
No, because like lots of stuff has to do with like the origins of Apollo. Like
Yeah.
Kristoff slash Phoenix were the mentors. Like then who would be the equivalent of Kristoff? Would Mia be the villain?
I hadn't thought this through. But like it wouldn't be like Mia, it would be set after. Like basically, what if this was, instead of being 7 years later, it was just like the continuation of Trials and Tribulation. I wasn't really talking about the main story. I was kind of talking about the cases and their relationship with Clavier. Would you think it would be better, or would you think like it was better off just being a completely new character?
No, I think the cases like the episodes had absolutely nothing. Like they didn't have the same taste. They were
Mm,
reminiscent of the original trilogy,
yeah.
and they didn't have the same taste. Like Apollo Justice episodes felt kind of local,
Mm.
you know.
I agree, because I feel like even if it was main character with an actual personality, it would still be kind of lackluster because the story and everything around it is still so bland.
Mm,
But we've kind of already established that. So even by fixing the personality of the main characters, it would still be like, yeah, yeah.
totally. Yeah. Perfect. So my final question is fuck Mary Kill. Staying true to the series. Fuck Mary Kill. Zach Gramarye, Darian Crescent, or The Papa Hat. Screams internally.
By the Papa Hat, do you mean the men in it,
No, I
or
mean the
just
actual
the
piece of
actual
cloth.
hat?
I mean the actual piece of clothing.
Complains in French.
Gr-
growls. I don't know. I hate them all.
Oh my god.
I hate them all. Say your answer. I'm thinking about it.
I'd fag Zach Gramery because he has a horrible personality.
Uh, uh, yeah. No,
What?
that's not a reason to. You shouldn't pick guys this way.
We'll discuss this after the call.
Mm.
After the recording. I'd fuck Zach Gramery because he's hot. I mean, it'd be a one night stand. I'd just fuck him and then not get to know him. That's what I meant.
You'll never call him back.
Yeah. Whereas Darren Crescent, because he's so hot and a murderer, I'd marry him and fuck him every day. And have him fuck me every day. And I think I'd kill the Papa Hat. Or maybe I'm not sure now. No, actually, here's my answer. I'd marry Darian Crescent because he's one of my all-time crushes from the series. I'd fuck the Papa Hat. Make passionate love to the Papa Hat, and I'd murder Zach Gramery. That's my final answer.
Okay. I'd murder Zach Gramery too. He's such an asshole.
Not the Papa Hat.
Not the Papa Hat. He abandoned his daughter.
But I thought you hated the Papa Hat more than anything.
I don't hate it that much.
Oh my god.
I hate it less than Zach Gramery for sure. I don't like it. If it was, the thing is, I don't like what it represents. The Papa Hat as an object doesn't disturb me. It's what it's placed on Phoenix's head.
What if it was cursed?
Represents. I am very superstitious, so that would be problematic of it. But I don't think like killing it would like. Sometimes trying to kill like evil spirit makes it worse. I'd still kill Zach Gramery. And I hate Darren Crescent. However, he is a rock star, and I would like to get free tickets and that lifestyle. So I would probably marry him, but then have a very estranged marriage where I just steal his money. And so I'd have a very. I could have sex with the Papa Hat.
Same answer, bestie. Jar Jar Binks.
Bestie Padme. My next question is a fuck, marry, kill too.
Side note: the villain in Ace Attorney 7 better be the Papa Hat.
Oh yeah,
a possessed Papa Hat, which made it out of the Wright and Co. law offices, made it out of the attic, and hired people to kill.
Amazing. I'd still play that game.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking, usually I do like a fuck, marry, kill with the victims and with the villains, but I was thinking, those are so boring in that game. The villains are meh, the victims are meh. So, my picks are fuck, marry, kill, Clavier, Apollo. I originally said Trucy for the last thing, but she's underage, so
That's
so
disgusting.
I picked Papa Hat Phoenix.
Aww. Kill Clavier, fuck Apollo up with like
We get the picture. I'm getting the picture for sure.
Perfect. And marry Papa Hat Phoenix. What? I'm not you.
My husband?
And Apollo would be the only one ever in the entire franchise who I'd be the one. Isn't that insane?
Very. It says a lot.
It does, because we don't have many twinks in this series. We don't.
Me thinking.
Or anyone short for that matter.
Except kids.
I wouldn't fuck kids. I'd kill them,
No,
but I
no.
wouldn't.
I didn't mean that. You fucking kids. I was just thinking. Okay. Very interesting.
Isn't that true though? We don't have anyone short.
No, I'm thinking. I don't think so.
Like a short man who's also twink.
I completely forgot that that blind pianist from Turnabout Serenade is a kid.
He is.
So I
Machi
was like,
Tobe.
yeah. So I was like, he's kind of short, but yeah, he's a kid. So duh.
Oh, maybe like Mo and Phineas Filch, but they're not twinks.
No, no, not twins.
Yeah. Oh, maybe, but he's dead. Um, what's his name? Clayteron.
Hmm.
But he's just Apollo's friend.
Hmm.
Maybe they shot scenes together. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll never know. He's dead.
Did they have an OnlyFans before Clay's death?
Maybe.
Lots of disgusting shit always at the end of the episodes.
Yeah, it's like our brain cells are disappearing. But I have a completely different answer from you for this
Tell
fuck,
me.
marry, kill. I would marry Clavier for sure.
Okay.
Kill Apollo and
Of course.
and fuck Papa Hat Phoenix because as much as I don't like the outfit, it's still Phoenix, and I would enjoy it. I think because I hate him so much, it would become like hate sex.
I feel like if it's possible, Papa Hat Phoenix would be more hang than usual Phoenix.
Would be more what?
Hung.
I get the feel. I
And
understand what you're
also
saying.
regular Phoenix, like Trilogy, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice Phoenix, is circumcised, but Papa Hat Phoenix is uncircumcised. Like
Mm.
he's uncut.
That is a very interesting take.
It is.
But I understand what you're saying. I think Papa Hat Phoenix is more unhinged and more like passionate and sexual than regular Phoenix.
I feel like the word is unkempt,
Yeah,
unhinged.
I associate that with like, passion, So I
Someone
think
filthy.
yeah, I think that would be a different love making compared to regular Phoenix. So I would fuck Papa Hat Phoenix to see what it's like, but I would never marry him. I don't want a man wearing flip flops.
Fair enough.
Sorry about that.
And with that, we've reached the end of another episode.
Oh my god.
A very intense episode.
A very long episode.
A very long episode.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you so much. What are you gonna do, Aris, right now?
What?
What are you gonna do right now?
What am I gonna do right now? I'm not really sure.
Not sure.
I have a Japanese lesson tomorrow, very early in the morning.
Look at you all being studious.
Yes. I actually take a lot of pride because I've started forming sentences, which is exciting.
Nice.
But yeah, maybe I have to go get ready for bed directly and like after this. Lucie, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna eat chicken because my mom made me chicken.
Go vegan.
I I was like so close to being a vegetarian this term, but I am also French, and so when I go back home, legally cannot be anything other than meat eating person.
Why?
The police will show up at my door and like shove a piece of ham into my mouth.
Is it like the French thing, like cheese?
Yeah, it's like it's my sister was vegetarian for a year, and it's like very hard in France. Like there aren't a lot of vegetarian options, and it's very embedded into the culture. So sorry. I'm trying to like lessen my consumption of meat, but
I mean,
I am trying.
perfect. So, thank you so much for tuning in. And we love you, and we hope to see you next week.
Yes. Have a very nice week. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
I said 7 by 3, 7 days a week.